yo.
Yo, yo. Test, 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 test.
1 2 1 2 1 2.
Yeah. All right.
Is it working? Is it on?
Thank you. Like, thank you.
You guys like it?
Like, no, thank you. Thank you. Like,
I'm
thank
glad
you.
you guys like it.
Like, I can't express to you like how like thankful I am that like this is dope. Like, you did an amazing job, and
thank
so I love
you.
about like artists, like just be you. Like,
Yeah.
dude, like no one told you how to do, what to do. Like, you,
That's
you
why
did.
I was anxious. I didn't ask Toby like a color reference or anything, nor did we really even have the plan to do this. So that's why, yeah, I'm glad you guys ended up liking it.
No, it turned out absolutely amazing, and like this is gonna be a piece of like this podcast for
Yes, I'm so
maybe years
yeah,
to come.
I'm
like,
excited that I was able to be a part of that.
Like,
yeah.
and so forever. So thank you, and like
Yeah.
thanks for like coming, and
Oh, thank you for having
yeah,
me.
you guys are about to have a grand old time. Like, I know,
Yeah.
you guys already got the drinks poured up.
Yeah.
I might convince me I need to
got
get myself
the- yep.
right, but yeah, I'm heading out now. Thank you.
It's a bit of it's a bit of collaboration with the color scheme. Like it's
I didn't
going
plan that
crazy.
either. It just worked out. We decided to do the martini.
that's just
yeah.
you know alignment is the word of the day. Alignment.
The word of the
But
day.
now we're definitely back. Episode 33 of the MIC podcast. You know it's 33 of them. 33 of them things, and we obviously have a dope ass fucking guest, Ashlyn.
Thank you for
Ashlyn
having
fucking
me.
Conway for sure. Thanks for coming up. Yeah, I mean we met each other at work. And
Coworkers.
Coworkers, and I mean I don't know about you, but like within like the first couple weeks, I was like definitely scoping shit out, but. Like I was like just from like your personality, I was like, okay, me and her are definitely gonna get along.
Hell yeah,
for
that
sure.
was definitely something. I knew from the get-go whether like, it ended up being like a long-term work thing or
Facts,
not, that like we
facts.
would be friends outside of work.
Nah,
like, I feel
for
like our
sure,
personalities
for sure. Like
definitely
it was
work
like
together.
a fucking crash course. Like
Hell
it
yeah.
damn near had to happen. So
Yep.
by the
Sip,
way,
sip.
now you chefed up these fucking
Espresso
espresso martinis. So we're off espresso martinis, y'all. Forgive us.
We're bougie today.
But these are fucking good as fuck.
They turned
and
out
I've
really
never had one of these before.
Really?
It's my first time having them.
Yeah. See, this isn't like I just recently started drinking these. It wasn't like a drink of choice, but a friend had made them, and I was like, oh,
Yeah,
that's it.
right,
I'm a
right.
coffee fiend at
For
work.
sure,
so
for sure.
Yeah,
No,
it works.
but definitely hit it off for work. Personalities gelled, and now you, like Mike said, have painted, these dope ass fucking canvases.
I'm glad you guys
And
like them.
I was excited from the jump. Like the moment like you told me you were a painter, I was like I was just like already kind of like doing the math. I was like interesting. Like I could definitely like just like use that skill. Like it's just like that skill like is like that needs noticed. You know what I mean? And
Thank
like
you,
that's
I
what like
appreciate that.
we're trying to that was like really like the foundation of like what MIC is. And then like really with the podcast what we're doing is we want to create a community for creatives, and then just kind of like build the just strengthen the ecosystem within Pittsburgh first, and then like what I mean, like wherever
That's
wherever
what I
we
noticed
end up.
whenever I was checking out your guys' profile, that you kind of give people opportunity to come on here and like just express like what they
for
do
sure,
and all
for
of that,
sure.
which is cool.
So Doc, definitely have to have you on. But I mean, shit, how you doing? How you feeling today, man? You
Good,
feeling
good.
all right?
Feeling good.
Okay,
feeling
okay.
good.
Feeling
I'm
right. We
excited.
got
I
a
get
little
to see your
bit
place
right.
for the first time.
Yeah.
probably.
Like
We work
my
together,
place
yeah.
/ studio. For now.
Yeah, it's a vibe.
Another
it's
studio
a vibe.
coming though, definitely.
Oh yeah.
So like, were you always interested in painting like early in life? Like, was that like your first form of art that you took on?
No. So I didn't start like getting like into art really until like high school years, and like
Okay.
I feel like I like really was like, oh, like I enjoy doing this when I took my first ceramics class.
Okay.
And so I took a ceramics class in high school. And my ceramics teacher also in high school had like a profound, like, she was just super chill, like super relatable person, like didn't really feel so much like a teacher. So that's why like that kind of stuck with me. But after that, I never even took a painting class or anything in high school, which I think is so ironic. I didn't actually take my first painting class until I started going to art school. So it was kind of just a whole like new realm of like learning things, because I saw people paint, like I saw paint pouring like online, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna try that. And then I tried it, and then I had like a bunch of people that were getting, not a bunch of people, but like more interest than like if I were to just post like a drawing or something that I would have like sketched out. And so I was just like, oh, like and I got enjoyment out of doing it too, which was
Yeah.
cool. So ranked out a bunch of those, and then now I'm just, you know, working as the property management, but I'm still trying to keep up with the art on the side.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I like want ideally in like a perfect life I would do art full time and
For
wouldn't
sure.
have to have another
For
job.
sure.
You know, I feel like that's every artist's dream.
Absolutely.
But realistically, like maybe it's just me and the type of lifestyle I want to live. But I feel like
I mean, it's
it's
a
also
common
feel
goal.
like
Yeah.
it depends on the price range too. I feel like I don't like some artists, like, which, you know, everybody has the right to price their stuff the way they want to,
Facts.
but I like making my art more affordable for people of like not only our age but like younger, and just
To
like
that
I'm not,
point, like I feel like what you think that like you're giving away in monetary value by making it affordable, you gain the value back as far as like, you know, word of mouth people, you know, actually having access to like, you know, your
because
your paintings.
I feel like it doesn't even matter about the money. Like at the end of the day, like if I'm like, for example, this was like a big opportunity because you have people on your podcast. And you're doing this, so every time someone comes through, they're gonna see that,
Right.
And if it interests them, they're gonna ask you who made it, and then maybe they'll end up wanting to commission a piece.
For
so
sure.
it just works out.
And just like, you know, even throwing tags on like, you know, like when we post a video, like people visiting your page, like, you know, seeing what you're
just
about,
anything,
like
marketing and just like views and all of that like helps. For
Nah,
just
yeah, that's definitely a
recognition,
fact.
which is nice. Yeah.
So when so like you started you know, with your ceramics class, I mean, me personally, when I was taking ceramics in high school, was that was almost a nightmare. It like I was damn near like Frankenstein. I was just like just mashing shit. Like I'm just like what
on the
fu-
wheel? Or
Yeah, like
okay.
no, like the wheel fucked
Well,
me
no,
up.
I'm not gonna. That's what I'm not gonna like. Not. I took a couple ceramics classes after high school in college because I needed some art electives, and like ceramics is like some like I don't think I could be a major in it because I'm not like great on the wheel. I was better at like hand building stuff, but it was way more tedious and not something like. I got enjoyment out of it, but sometimes it would stress me out and stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely understand that. It can
That
be.
shit was crazy. Like, yeah, man,
But
like the
something with
fucking, like, you have to
clay
like ease on the gas. I'm like, I don't
Yeah,
even
you
have my license yet. I'm like, what the
You gotta
fuck
make sure
going
your
on?
arms
Like,
are tight. Yeah,
I'm
it's like there's a whole science behind it. It's
this
crazy.
is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, man, nah. So from ceramics to like what stuck out like as far as like paint pouring to you? Like, were you like, ooh, like that looks dope? Like, I'm trying to like, what is that about?
So
like,
before I started school, because whenever I started college, I wasn't an art major. I was going for early childhood education. So I was like, you know, doing student teaching and stuff like that. And so I didn't really have like, I wasn't like painting on the side besides doing paint pours. So like then whenever I took my first painting class, that's where I feel like I actually learned techniques when it comes to like doing like a self-portrait or something like that, something outside of like the abstract like art type stuff. So
like, what about it did you take away, do you think?
I feel like, well, I feel, I don't know, did I ever show you at work the portrait I did of my friend? I didn't know if I brought it in or not, but I definitely, like, we had to do a self-portrait at the beginning of the semester, and I did one, and I did not like how it turned out, but then by the end of the semester, I had to do another one, but it ended up being, like, it was a portrait of, you could do someone else, so I picked a friend, and it turned out way better than I thought it was going to, and so I was just, that was kind of like, okay, I was like, all right, this class definitely, like, taught me a few things
like,
technically,
you work
like,
with
just
something. It like sharpened you in like some aspect.
Yeah, that's why, because I feel like people think for artists, like, yeah, like I for the abstract stuff, like that's kind of my thing. Like I'll go more towards the abstract route,
I peeped that.
I'm not like all the stuff that I've done with like portraits, and that's all stuff I've learned. Like I didn't just naturally take that away to be able to, because some people just have that gift, like they can just draw, they can just paint, and like I kudos anybody that can do it. Like you know, good for you. But like I'll say like it was all technical for in some aspects for me. Like it took me time. I'm still not.
So like it was
perfected.
like an actual skill that you learned.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm telling you right now, if I were to show you, like I would never show anybody my self-portrait that I did, because if you compare it to that versus like my end of the semester portrait that I did, like you would think a 5-year-old painted the first one versus
yeah. So that's kind of crazy, because like I do feel like you're right. Like I do feel like, as far as like, you know, drawing goes, like you're either a good drawer or you're not. Like I've never really heard someone kind of like almost in a sense go to the gym for drawing, and it's like
yeah,
you know what I mean?
but
Like,
you could people like think that like it's like, oh, like if I'm a shitty drawer, like I can't get better. But like no,
Right.
if you draw every day, like that's one of the things that like I took away most from like
That's
school, even though
fire.
I'm not in it anymore. Like my teachers, the one thing they engraved is like if you want to be good or you want to like learn a technique art related and you want to be like, you know, skilled at it, you have to do it like almost every day. Like you have to be drawing if you want to draw a portrait, you have to be drawing people every day. You have
Wow.
to be practicing that skill.
wow,
and
that's
just-
crazy as hell. I mean, like it makes sense. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
no.
Like definitely have to practice, but like that's just insane that like that's the process to like you know what I mean? Just
I know, yeah, it's tedious, but I give
Yeah.
people props that, you know, out the gate, like some people are just born with it.
nah,
And they're
facts.
just like, they kill it.
Maybe it's
good.
Maybelline.
Literally. They got the London look and everything.
Yeah. Lashes flawless. Yeah.
Literally.
Nah, but even like going back to like some of the abstract work, I peeped that you like rework clothes, which is fire as fuck.
Yeah, so when I first got my studio space, that was like what I really wanted. I had never painted on clothes or like I'm a big shoe gal. So
Yeah,
like I was
facts.
like clothes, shoes. I was like I need to like explore with that. Yeah, so I did like a little pre-drop where it was just like 20 items, pants, clothes, and shoes. And
Oh
then
no,
some
I'm so
accessories.
like I gotta even say like yo, like the day that like you wore those like the sock heels.
Oh, you thought those went
Fire,
hard.
fire,
The one day I
fire.
wear heels to work.
That was tough because like again I had like I just had never seen a heel like that. I'm just like that like it was like a sock, almost like a Balenciaga type sock heel type. I was like tough.
Romwe.
Like you have to have a
Link
certain shout out to Romwe.
Link
But like
below.
you definitely have to have a sense of like, oh no, these are crazy
Yeah.
to pick those out. Shout out to Romwe for that.
Shout
that
out to
was not,
Romwe, yeah.
but not for sure. Okay, so yeah, the reworking clothes. I saw like you drew like an abstract, like you had like these like jeans or something like that had like an abstract face. Like
yeah.
like did you learn how to do that or just like
No, so the abstract faces, that was actually an exercise that my one drawing teacher in a drawing class would have us do.
Wow.
She would say, like, for the first 15 minutes of class, we would go in and she would make us draw one line faces. So, like, all of those faces, like, I didn't pick up the pen, like, once. They're just all connected in one line. So
see,
she would
I try to do some because like I definitely like
They
remember that exercise.
Okay, but they look that's the thing though. They look like like the first couple ones I would do would look wonky as hell. But then once you do it, we were doing it every single day for an entire
yeah.
semester. By the end of the time, I was
You were
actually
just
getting a
like-
grip of like what the facial structure looked like by just doing one line.
Wow, that's fucking crazy, man. Whenever I tried that exercise, yo, I would just
Scribbles.
and it would just be like a circle. I was like, just like some like fucked up, like I'm like, what the like this just not even fun. What's going on?
Keep
like,
going at it. Keep
yeah,
going at it. I
nah,
have faith
man,
in
I'm
you.
such an
I have
ass
faith in
fucking.
you.
I'm such a nah. I was never a good drawer, but so what would you say like your creative process is like if there's anything for you like?
It depends on the day because I feel like I'm either in a really good mood and that's why I want to paint, or like I have like some crazy inspiration that's making me want to like, you know, put it out on a canvas, or I had a really crappy day or like something
Yeah.
like that and like stress relief. But as far as like the process, like some music. I mean, I like to have people. I know some people prefer to paint alone, which in some circumstances I do. Like I'll
Yeah.
need like that alone time. But honestly, I like love having people in the
That's
studio
fire,
with me
yeah.
while I'm painting. Like I don't know, something about another presence is nice.
I feel you.
But yeah, that music, and then I feel like I'm pretty simple when it comes to that. Then I just
Yeah.
sit there and stare at a canvas until I know what colors I want to do
Facts.
or like what I plan on doing to it. But
How do you be using the colors? Like just again, it's like how you feel like.
yeah, so well, for the paint pours, the process is a little different than just like your average painting because I don't use a paintbrush or anything for those. I just
Facts.
pour like a color into a cup and then mix it with a little bit of water to make it soluble to pour onto the canvas.
Okay,
And then I'll
okay.
just, depending on like what kind of, if I want it to be more structured, I'll plan out how I'm going to pour it on there. If I want it to be a little bit more flowy like that, I'll kind of just pour the colors like right on and then
Damn.
shift it and see how it
That's
turns
crazy
out.
as
Yeah, that's
fuck.
what I kind of love about the paint pours is because like you really just never know how it's going to turn out. You can
Facts.
put the colors you want but you don't know what like the end product's
No,
gonna
I
look
mean,
like. It's
that looks dope. And like you had like a painted that before, and then just added that.
yeah. So I
Yeah.
had done the original painting on this big canvas, and then I thought your logo.
I
would
like the
look
cracks in it.
cool
Like,
on it.
are those like natural, or like did you do
Yeah,
those?
so
or like,
it's there's two reasons why it cracks so like much, which I like it too, but it only works out in my favor every so often. It's one because I had initially poured different colors on this and I didn't like how it looked. So I
Okay.
poured on top of it. So not only is the paint a little bit thicker when it dried, but
Oh,
it
okay,
also,
okay.
I will, if you, did you see the little like cell johns up there?
Yeah,
I said
yeah.
cell john.
yeah.
Those things are from, I torch it after I'm done
Oh,
painting it.
shit, okay,
So when you
okay.
put heat
Damn.
on top of it, I use like a liquid medium that like will make those cells appear. So when I torch it, it kind of like will do the little cracks too.
Bro, you know what I realized? Like everyone who is good or just like has like an above intermediate level of knowledge about like their field, like it sounds like they're talking science. Like science, like what you just said right now is a whole bunch. I'm just like, what the fuck?
No,
Like,
I didn't even think about that until I like school. Even though I'm not in school anymore and I'm not like going to be an art major, I'll give props to where like art school like taught me a lot in the sense of like art is like a science. Like every
Facts.
different type of like art is a science. Like
Dead
ceramics,
ass.
like whenever I got to my like third level ceramics class, we were learning how to like operate a kiln. So like I was like, you
Yeah.
know, like learning how to like fire my stuff, and like I was just like, this is like, if you like fucked that up, you would be
yeah,
it would be
like,
done for.
yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
a science. You gotta
Dead
know.
ass.
Yeah, you gotta know like something. But with obviously that's a little bit more scary than like
Yeah,
just
now the kiln
the
just
painting,
looks
but-
like the kiln looks medieval.
yeah,
yeah,
like
it's like-
they're like, yeah, you're gonna do your own firing. I'm like, I have to control like that thing. Like, yeah, that was definitely a little anxious, but
Christ.
yeah, no, it's all like a science. It's cool. It's all everything. I feel like everything has like a little science.
Yeah,
process
like a
behind
little,
it.
like
What-
little, like
what
process
makes
for
it work.
sure.
Yeah.
Facts. Nah, for sure. So, all right, what would you say your favorite piece or project was, and why? And then like this is like kind of a two-parter, but I got another
Okay.
question for you after that.
So I have. For paint pours, it's kind of hard for that because I've done so many. Like I couldn't narrow it down to just one. I'd probably say like the ones that are in my studio that I don't have on my website that like I don't plan on selling. Those would be my favorite. There's like a handful of them, and it's just because of either like the color scheme that I use. It's either super visually pleasing to me,
Okay.
or the way that it laid out is super visually pleasing to me. But the one portrait that I did of my friend Rachel that I had like I did whenever I was in class, that is something that I was when it comes to like something I'm proud of, that is probably something I would show, because I've never like done a portrait of a person and thought it turned out so like it looked like the picture to me and to other people.
So,
Yeah.
and like that was like your best effort, so to speak. Like,
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it's still not done yet. I'm still doing her hair, but like
Yeah.
that's been like a 4-5 month project.
wow.
Yeah, it's oil paint too. So oil paint's a whole other ball game. You
Why?
have to,
Like what makes that hard?
drying process? Like it's just if you want to like for correct shades and stuff, you have to wait for the layers to dry, and oil paint can take like months to dry.
Damn.
Depending on how thick you put it on. But
Right,
and I
right,
also
right.
just like I have a that's not that was something that I kind of been just doing at my own leisure. It wasn't
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
commission project or
Facts.
anything like that. So I don't have like a deadline that I'm gonna have it done by, but
Yeah.
sooner than later, hopefully.
All right. Is there like a favorite piece of art that you have ever received? Like, has someone like gifted you something, or like have someone like created something for you in mind?
Yeah. So honestly, I have a lot of friends that are really good ceramic. Like their ceramic work like is really cool. So I bought in a few like different mugs and stuff like that from a couple of friends. Some of them are from Pittsburgh, and then some of them are like famous artists that like aren't from Pittsburgh that I am not friends with. But I would say favorite. I got gifted a painting. Well, there's probably two. There's one that I did an art trade with a girl that I met on Twitter. So I gave her a paint pour, and then she does pet portraits. So she actually did a pet portrait of my dog that
How did y'all link? Like,
I used to be big on the art Twitter game. Like, I would just like be like posting on there, like, hey, like, drop your like art tag, your
follow
art
for
Instagram.
follow.
Yeah. And then the one time I did it, I like 400 or 500 different accounts.
Oh shit.
Yeah, there was one day I remember where like it was like a running thing for like a week where we were all just following each other on. Which
man,
it was
it
cool.
worked.
I got to see, like I
worked.
saw a bunch of different art, like got to like talk to a bunch of different people, but there was one specific girl that like we ended up doing an art trade. So we were like, let's just trade some art. And so she did a portrait of my dog that's now passed away, but it was like spot on. So like that has a special place in my heart. Or probably I have another painting from a artist. I never know how to pronounce his last name, but we can link him below. But it's a very cute scenic portrait that's in my bedroom.
Okay.
Of like I don't even know how to describe. It's like two bear. We'll post the link below. You can look at the art, but it was a meaningful. I couldn't afford it, so the fact that it was gifted to me, I was like, oh, thank you.
Yeah, no, for sure. So like, what was okay? So like, just like conversely with that, has there been like I guess like like you kind of mentioned earlier, but like you're like a piece of art that like was significant to you that you gave to someone else. Was it probably that portrait?
Yeah, so like when I got my friend's reaction to like the portrait that I did of her, like I definitely like got some gratification knowing that like she's like, oh my god, like that looks like me, like that is really like you did that really well. But I'm trying to think. I feel like it's hard because I get so much gratification like just off of somebody wanting to like either commission a piece or buy a piece of art from me.
Okay.
So like when someone sends me a picture of like one of my paintings hanging in their house or like wherever, like that's enough for me. Like that does it for me. I would say every circumstance where someone has bought a piece of art from me and has shown me where it's hanging in their house or still to this day has it. Like I have people that I gave paintings to like when I first started painting like 4 or 5 years ago that like still have them, still send me pictures of them, and I'm like, oh, like I love that you like love it.
Yo, no, because like I was even about to say like, what was it like the first time someone was like, yo, I will give you money for some of your...
That's what's so ironic is the first person that ever bought one of my paint pours was my high school ceramic teacher. I like posted them all on Facebook. Yeah, shout out to Miss Smiggle. I love you.
Yeah, shout out to Miss Smiggle.
I literally love
the
her.
Smigs.
Yeah, that literally was her nickname, Smigs. We would call her Smigs. Yeah, but I posted all my, like, I did like 20 little like 9x11 canvases and I posted them on Facebook like when I was initially first starting to sell them, and she had messaged me and was like, I want like for one of them and wanted it, and so
that's fire.
She had paid me for it. That was the first time I ever got paid for art, and then I was like, oh my gosh, like it was just gratifying, like knowing that somebody wanted to pay to buy it.
And just like even like the clothes too, like did you start commissioning paintings first or like the Rework Clothes? Yeah,
so I started doing the paintings first. The clothing was just something I've always been into, like fashion and
facts.
Like just clothes and shoes.
And those shits
are
fire.
Yeah, so I was just like, I have to incorporate that. I definitely want to do another drop soon.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like if you got something in stock, definitely let me know.
Oh yeah, well
like,
I do. I'll still that's what I need to make I need to like remake my website because I still for custom orders. I feel like some people think it's like strictly just for paintings. Like I can, if you have a pair of jeans you want me to paint or like a pair of shoes that you want me to paint, like send them my way. Like
tough, yeah, tough. No, I definitely need that next drop. Where are you from in Pittsburgh, by the way? I don't know if we talked about that.
South Hills.
Born
and raised, yeah.
How's it going about there?
It was interesting. It was fine. I mean, I had my friends growing. I feel like I have my like handful of friends that I stayed close with after high school, but Upper St. Clair wasn't like the best high school. But I feel like everybody like you hear people's
It was
high
just,
school
like,
experiences nowadays,
yeah.
and everybody had like a shitty high school experience.
Everyone,
so let's not even dive
everyone
into
fucking
that. Yeah.
hated
Everybody
high school.
hated high school. Let's skip past that. Yeah, high school was shitty, but I like the area itself. Like,
Nah,
nice
facts,
area.
facts.
I would like, I just feel like now more than ever, now that I still live there and I'm city oriented, I need to
Yeah.
get down to the city because it's just a
Yeah,
hassle being
yeah.
like farther away and had to commute and stuff. But I don't.
definitely feel that.
It's definitely a little bit more slow paced in the city, but
Nah, that's
suburb vibe.
that's what bad. Nah, man, I know exactly what you mean because like I grew up in like the same type of area where like we're just like suburban mischief was afoot.
But yeah.
And like it was like a pretty like close knit community like within the high school. So you know what I mean? Like if some crazy happened,
everybody knew. It was always, and then
niggas
for my
clocked you.
yeah, for my high school too, it was just one of those things where like I mean, a lot of the people at my high school had wealthy families, and I just
I would say same.
My parents made good money now, but like back when I was in high school, like we weren't like. My dad's like my parents aren't 6-figure like standing.
Yeah,
you know
right,
what I
right,
mean?
right. No,
So
for sure.
I just like saw different parts of like that where I was just like.
Yeah, like you were just over it.
Yeah,
like,
I was just like, I'm ready to like go see like what like life like real world. It's like
No.
I feel like a lot of people like I mean my personal experience just didn't have a perception of reality because like
Nope.
money was just like handed to
Yeah,
them or like
dead
you're a
ass,
trust fund
yeah,
baby.
dead
So
ass.
like
no.
I just
And like I didn't realize until the moment I breached those doors, I was like, damn, like, and like not say like like anything bad, but it's just like there's so much more life and like people and like perspectives and like you're like just like even conversations with like people like you're just like damn, like I would never have had this conversation with anyone I could bump into.
close
back
my-
when- you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like it's just like I could not even think of it. And it's like you actually find people with similar interests and like like just commonalities, and it's just crazy.
that and just drive too. Like I feel like I've met so many people outside of like all of the people that I've met at work or just like like friend of a friend like that's not like high school related. Like I just feel like the mindset is just like there.
A
All
bit
my
more
friends and me
open.
are on the same page. Like you included. Like we're
Yeah.
all here to like grind. Like I feel like all of my friends are like like we have our like day job and then we've
Facts.
got like our second
Yeah,
thing that
yeah,
like our
facts.
niche like something and we're gonna make it happen.
Nah,
Like, at the end of the
for
day, you gotta
sure.
do what you
Like,
gotta
and
do.
like that's what I love about this thing. Like, I was talking to Mike earlier. Like, this is a gritty ass city. Like, you got to go get it.
Yeah, if you want it, and especially in Pittsburgh, slim pickings.
You gotta go fucking get it, man.
Go get it.
From
Yeah.
the fucking soil, man. Like I like it's just
Literally.
it's like I like the atmosphere because someone like you said is like they got their hands in something. Like they're
Literally.
either entrepreneur, like they're
Everybody
either-
here, you think about it. I feel like the greatest thing you can do now, like multiple streams of revenue. Like if you only have one sort, like I'm not gonna knock it. If you have one source of
Yeah.
income, like and that you're fine with that, do that. But like personally, like if I can capitalize off of my strengths and what I enjoy to do on my
Fuck
off
yeah, that's what
time
I'm saying.
and
Like
make like a whole other brand
come
out of it,
on.
and I'm gonna do that. And,
that's damn near
you
what the
know?
country's built up. Like because like it's just like such like a capitalist, like you know what I mean. Like people are just.
And there are a lot of
they-
people in Pittsburgh that have that mind. Like you
That's
just
what,
see so many
like-
there are a lot of creatives
And I'm
here.
seeing it happen just before our eyes. Like just even from the job we work, like we're property managers in the daytime. So like I'm just seeing like people buy property. Like so like I could walk down the block and see the same real estate sign. I'm like, God damn.
Literally.
I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like, and it's happening like right under our fucking nose. It's
Literally.
like it's real life Monopoly being played out here. Like in this, yo, give this city like 4 or 5 more years.
Oh
bro.
yeah, they always say Pittsburgh's always like behind on some things. Like don't get me wrong, like
Yeah, yeah.
we tend to be the last on the list for a lot of things, but
Yeah.
like when it comes to like the day to day, like people being like that grind mindset, like there's a lot of entrepreneurs and like creatives in
lot.
Pittsburgh that like
if she's a nurse in the daytime, she sells lashes.
Or she's
15K on
booking
the
lashes
account. 15K falls on the account. Like lashes sold out. Like booming, real
Literally.
booming business. Like this shit is really crazy. I love it.
I know.
I love being amongst like that. Nah, that shit is fire. All right. All right, this question is kind of like, all right, so like, what was a challenge early on that you had, I guess, just painting wise, or just like, finding out that, or like, yeah, just like honing the skill of painting. Like, what was like a challenge early on that you were like, damn, like.
Well, I think my initial thing was like, okay, like I have people that are willing to buy my art and like, all of that, but like, how am I going to market myself outside of like my friends and like get a reach like outside of like just people that I know and like my friends, because I was like at that point it's just gonna be, it'll be stagnant at a point if I just keep doing it based off of like I actually need to like think about making a website or like that was like my mindset, like if you want to take this seriously, like you have to actually think about long term, like what's gonna make this like
boom
stand out, which is also why I thought about like I'm not gonna do canvases forever. That's why I dipped into clothes for a little bit. That's why like I've done some like I paint poured like vases and stuff like that I try to dabble a little bit in everything just so that I can make sure that one, like I can at least say I tried it.
Yeah.
And then if I don't like it or I don't, it's not something I enjoy doing, then at least I know.
Put it in the back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like at least I can say I did it and I tried it. So that's kind of where I'm at now. I still have a long way to go when it comes to marketing and all of that. And like I have this love. I feel like everybody has a love-hate relationship with social media, but like as an artist and just as anybody trying to sell a product, you have to be on there all the time posting like mad stuff. And I'm just not someone, like I post stories more often, but I'm not someone that's like posting posts like every single week. Like I post,
I gotta get better at that personally.
Yeah, so I feel like but it's also the algorithms. They set you up for failure.
It's real trash. And IG, we have to speak because
I'll
be posting bullshit on the story. Oh, like a little, like a little meme here, a little like point of view. I'm just talking shit or whatever.
One day I got 600 viewers, the next day I got 51.
When I'm talking, I'm just like talking shit, just like shooting the shit, 300 viewers. But when I we got
post
this person on the episode,
it's like 50
viewers. IG, we have to speak.
Yeah, what's with the algorithm?
What's up with that? We have to speak. Like golly. Type of shit is that? Like, is this not what it's for?
I know. That's why. Well, yeah. It's just all calculated now. That's why it's even harder to like be recognized and stuff like that.
I mean, but still we rise.
Still gonna do it.
Still we fucking
on the
rise.
grind every day.
I definitely respect that. So, yeah, I mean, just like so far, like definitely talked about how you hit the clay wheel, paint pouring, talked a little bit.
Paint pouring.
Yeah, talk a little bit about the portraits.
You gotta slide to the studio soon.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like I definitely have to see the space, and like I've like seen like little glimpses of it like on the story, but like it looks like it looks like art is meant to be made in that space.
It is,
I mean?
yeah.
Like,
I feel like, that was like totally it's so crazy to look back that it's been like over a year now that I've had, and I'm in a new studio. I mean, I'm in the same building, but I'm in a bigger space. So it's crazy to think that like in a year span, like I did that, but it was such an impulsive decision at the time.
No. Explain. Yeah. So like you were just chilling and like you were like,
dude,
I got a copy studio.
This was So when did like we had initially go into shutdown? Was that like December?
That was no.
What month was that of 2019 or 20?
Probably April. Really April.
April.
Like,
okay.
Yeah.
So that's what. So I'm literally August. So April, May,
4
June,
months.
July, only a couple months.
Yeah.
We're in quarantine, right? And mind you, I still live at home with my parents. So I am like going insane. And at this point,
you and the fucking rest of the millennials.
Yeah, no, I love my
back in the crib.
I'm not gonna like, my parents are super chill, and I don't mind living with them, and like it's nothing like that. It's just my art space at that time was my basement, which was also my dad's off. My dad works from home full time. So during the daytime, he's working in there. So I really couldn't ever go paint unless it was like afternoon, evening, and it was in the basement. And then COVID hit, and I'm already like restricted inside 24/7. So I didn't paint like for like 6 or 7 months during that period of time. Like did not touch paint. Like